Teacher Kim here, and welcome back to my channel. I just thought about something a minute ago that I thought would be an interesting topic, at least to take a few minutes on. Feedback. Feedback. So, what is feedback? Why is it important? There's two different kinds of feedback. There is the feedback that we give our students, and there's the feedback our students give us. So let's talk about the first kind first. What do we give our students? Different people will tell you different things on feedback. Some people prefer to use a template. There are excellent templates out there. Feedback Panda has some. Google Slides has some. If you're on VIPKid, blah blah comments for ITuturGroup is really good. I've heard. I'm sure GoGoKid. I think they're on Feedback Panda as well. Different companies use different. The company does not recommend it, but it's out there for the companies. Let's put it that way. And some of these, like Feedback Panda, will connect to your feedback, so it'll input and it'll connect, and amazing things that I have not tried, so I don't know. But I've heard wonderful things. And if that is your style, go for it. I am not against you using templates. I don't. Here's my why. My brain and my fingers are faster to me just typing out feedback than pulling it and having to edit it. I have always been the type, when I write, I get it right the first time. When people are learning to type, you're supposed to just type what you see, go back and fix mistakes. I have never been able to do that. I don't know why. I don't know if it was something from when I was young and using a typewriter you couldn't go back and fix, and that could have been it. That might actually have been it. My mom would have me, when I did work on the typewriter, when I had projects, she'd have me do it myself. And if I made a mistake, I had to start over and start over and start over and start over. Otherwise, you had to use the whiteout, and it never was quite lined up. And so I guess that taught me to fix my mistakes or try to be precise to begin with. So when I type, I am fairly precise, and if I make a mistake, I immediately delete and fix. Now, that said, that is quick to me. I can sit here in about a minute and write good feedback. But that's me. You don't have to be me. That's the fun part of this job. You be you. I give that advice in like most of my videos, especially tips and all. Be yourself. So, if you like to use a feedback generator, if you like to pre-write, when I first started out, I'll go ahead and just sidebar. When I first started teaching, I would take notes, and I would wait till the end of class. I would keep a Word document up on my computer, and while I was teaching, I would type a few notes. And at the end of all of my classes, I did all my feedback. That was because I was new, and I wanted to make sure I was in my classrooms on time, and I wanted to look over my props and look over what I was teaching. And trust me, if you are new, take the time, do the feedback afterwards. Honestly, best thing you can do, that way you don't end up making a mistake. I see so many people miss a class because they were doing feedback and they forgot to go in it. So, when you're starting out, until you find your rhythm, wait. After a while, and after quite a few of classes back to back, I got tired of it taking so long. So I started finding, I did with iTutor first before VIPKid. With iTutor, I started trying to write a few sentences between class. Now, iTutor feedback does not need to be quite as detailed. You can. It's up to you. For me personally, I usually write... Well, I'll talk about how I do my feedback in a minute, but I don't write a lot. I make it short, sweet, to the point, and I can send it off. I can be done in 30 seconds to a minute at the most. VIPKid, so I waited a while on that let's see, I've talked about before, my classes did not really take off till June of that year. I started in the last day of April, so I taught my first class in May, but June was when I really started getting bookings. And so I had I think the whole month was phonics bookings, which is awesome. So I came up with templates for those. I would talk about like what we did in class and all that kind of stuff, and I would just add a personal sentence. And I did those as templates, and that worked well for that month. Again, just not my style. I don't like regurgitating a lesson unless I'm explaining the why of it. I will regurgitate maybe one part of a lesson, but not, I don't like to write what I was doing is writing everything we did. So, not really my style. It worked for then. But as I got more classes, as I got more used to teaching, as I got more comfortable in the classroom, as I did not have to do as much prep work, I stopped doing feedback prep work as well. And I started to kind of find my groove. And once I did, then that's where I am now. Now I sit down and between classes, as long as I finish up by 26:30, 26:40, somewhere in there, I can type my feedback and be in my next classroom by 28 minutes. Remember, with ITuturGroup, you have to have it open before the 3 minutes. So I open it up and then I type feedback. With VIPKid, I type feedback and then I go to the next classroom, just because they can't be open at the same time. Again, personal preference, not what you have to do. Works for me, may not work for you. Do what works for you. I'm just telling you what I do. So, try not to make this too long, really. Here's what I do. My first sentence, and I'm not really going to write anything, but my first sentence is always, it's always, good to see you, thank you, something, it's always a compliment. Compliment and thanks for coming to class, basically. All right, so it may be just, hey, it was so great to see Sunny today in class. Or it may be, thank you for choosing me to teach Sunny today. Or, oh, I'm so proud of how Sunny did today. He did amazing. Okay, so that's how I start out. Then I usually add, depending on what I say here, I usually add at least one more sentence of another compliment. So this is sentence 1. Sentence 2 is maybe another compliment. This is more compliment. This is more specific. Today, Hammy created his own sentence independently from our lesson. It's very specific. I'm giving a detail, something he did in class. It's personal. That's my personal touch. I make sure I say something personal. Sometimes I will say 2 or 3 sentences that are personal if they did something really outstanding or if I'm explaining. But at least one sentence that is personal and specific. My third thing, something to work on. If the student did really well in class, if it was like a review class and they really got all the material, then it might just be work on your computer homework. We can't say homework now. Work on your VIPKid computer work is what I've been saying. If it's something specific, Ada did not open her mouth to say the ah sound all the way. She can practice in a mirror saying ah, ah, ah. And so that's what I'll write, something to work on. 4 is a final compliment. So let's say I say we're going to work on the ah. I am so proud of how Ada made the eh and is sound. All right, so there's another compliment. And usually I try to make this one as specific too. But maybe not as specific as the first one. The first one I'm being like very specific from the class. My second one is more just specific to what we're working on, Maybe I'm so proud of how much effort they put forth, or I'm so proud of, or something to that effect. And I'll always say proud. Proud is, I don't use it proud often, but I might say I was impressed, or so-and-so did outstanding, or did terrific. I do try to change up my adjectives. I don't like to use great, 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 or good, 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 or fine, fine, fine. I like to change them up. And then the last thing I say is something to the effect of see you soon. Okay? See you soon. And then I will say thanks. And then I put Teacher Kim, and then I put my call name in parentheses if I'm with VIPKid. This is only for VIPKid and GoGoKid. I use Teacher Kim and I use my call name in each one of those. My show name. I do not put that in with ITuturGroup. Don't know why, I just don't. Probably because I don't have a show name, so I don't put it there. Okay, so simple. I can do it. I can do my feedback in as little as like 5 to 6 sentences. I can do it in as little as, 4. I can put my compliment and see you soon in 1 sentence. So I do it very simple. That's how I do it between class. This is it. This is how I do it between class. Very quick, sweet, and to the point. I cover everything. I thank them. I compliment them. I give specifics, something to work on, and I finish it up. How you do your feedback is up to you. That is very personal. You write it how you want to write it. Some people are very, very detail oriented and like to write every single thing that happened in the lesson, and that's awesome. I do not like to take that time. 1, it takes a long time. 2, many times, the parents can watch the playback, but if it's something specific that I feel like that they need to know we worked on or we needed to work on or why we worked on it, I put that, and I give my whys. Why is very important. Even if you use a feedback template, make sure you have a why. Why did you cover this? Why is this important? That helps the parent to know if you spent extra time on something, why? They want to know why. They're just going to see you saying, Well, they said, No, they said, They didn't say, So we worked on, to make sure we got that mouth sound. We want to make sure that we hear the difference and say the difference between and Very important. It can change the meaning of words. So that's what I put. I'll put something to that effect. Obviously, a little more professional than how I'm talking to you now. This is more just advice. That's very professional, and I try my best to be professional. Even if I'm putting something negative, I always find the positive. That's my work on. My negative is my work on. We need to work on focusing in class. We need to work on participating. We need to work on keeping eye contact with the teacher or, staying on camera. Those are my work-ons. So definitely not a negative, just an encouragement. So that's the what we leave side. What about the what they give us side? Personally, I do not ask for feedback. Here's why. I am not eligible for a raise at any company I am at. Where I make now is what I will make if I stay here 5 years, what I'll make then. Unless they decide to change the rules. But right now, each company has rules on how you get a raise, and I am not eligible for raises. No, it's okay. I accepted it. I moved on from it. It is okay. Would I like to make more money? Of course. Of course I would. Who wouldn't? Am I going to cry over it? No. I'm going to do my job, make the money I need, and be happy. I make extra money other ways with short notice classes at VIPKid. I make extra money with iTutor by being a recruiter. I make extra money that way. I make pretty good extra money on that one. I've recruited quite a few people now. Not as many as some, but still something. So I do not ask. Can you ask? Yes, of course. You cannot say, give me 5 apples. Give me 10. Give me a 10 on iTutor. But you can say, if you enjoyed our class, please leave your feedback. Feedback's very important to me. I would love to know how so-and-so likes the class. You can find the way you want to word it. Look on Facebook. There's tons of examples. I'm not going to go through them all. There's tons of ways to do it, but whatever works for you. But again, personally, I don't because I'm not eligible. So, yeah, it'd be nice. I would love to know how my students feel about my class. I have one student who I've taught like 50 or 60 times, and he has yet to leave me feedback. But I teach him 3 to 4 times a week. And he went away for a couple months and came back. So I think he likes me. I think his parents like me. And so I'm not going to be upset. The best way to get the high ratings, 5 apples, 10 in ITuturGroup, is of course to do your best. Be yourself. Do your best. Connect to your students. Will you still have a student rate you lowly? Yeah. Sometimes. Especially with iTutor. Sometimes. I taught a class last night. I had 4 students. 3 gave me 10s. 1 gave me a 7. because I was too fast. I wasn't too fast for everyone else, but I was too fast for her. I even made the point of saying, hey, if you need me to slow down, please tell me, because as long as I feel like you're following along, I'm going to keep going. And she didn't tell me. So that's okay. Am I mad? No, not at all. That's her choice. But anyway, so my question is, let me know in the comments below, how do you do feedback? Do you use a template? Do you personalize it? Do you write personal feedback? Do you write between classes? Do you write after classes? What do you do? This is just what I do. This is not what you have to do. This is what I choose to do. This works for me. I like that when I'm off work, I am off work. If I finish my class at 9:25, by 9:27, I am completely done with my feedback. Is that every single day? No. If I have to go over for any reason, I do not have time to do my feedback, I will do it after classes. Not saying that I am perfect. I'm not. But this works for me. Do what works for you and be you. See you next time. Bye.